Good morning, everybody. The debates were last night. I put some stocks out that should benefit, depending on who the winner is, right? I had an interesting question this morning asking if a price target was simply based on the fact that Biden would win, or if a price target was based on the fact simply that Trump would win. I'm going to revisit that with that direct question, because some of those stocks, yes, it would take a win to push those price targets. Some of them, it would not. Effectively, what I was doing was I was going off an article saying, hey, these stocks benefit the most due to the policy of these two guys. And I wanted to show you what I saw. And some of those targets were based on the fact that that person would have to win, because that's what would drive that price. That's what would push. However, if you saw on there September 30th, 2024 date, that is before the election, right? Or I might have had October 31st on some of them. That's before the election. So no, that person does not need to win for that to happen. Okay, so moving on. Dividend stocks. I figured, we never talk about dividend stocks, but they're an interesting play in the market, and traders and investors alike play these stocks. So let's take a look at them. So we have Dividend Declarations, Eli Lilly, AT&T, Pfizer, and Salesforce. Then we have the Dividend Calendar. We have Cube, PGR, Cisco, JP Morgan. Dividend Increases. We have Jeff, Kroger, Levi's. And so let's take a look and see what those setups tell us, and if, in fact, they tell us anything. I think this is good for a lot of you guys out there that invest long-term and like, hey, I own for the dividend, which can be great, but sometimes dividend declarations, increases, and even the upcoming dividend affects price enough where it's worthwhile to make a decision on what to do with those stocks. So let's jump in there and let's get started. Forgive me for looking down. I always look down so that I can look at the stock position. So let's go ahead and share. Let's go ahead and share our screen here. All right, here we are. So I'm in the middle of a Dow's futures play now. A lot of people say you can't walk away from futures, but with the Dow, it's $5 a tick, right? So as opposed to like the S&P, that's $50 a tick. So you can afford to pull up 15-minute charts if you know how, and play them and walk away and do your job, which I do. I've already made 1,000 this morning, or a little over 1,200. And it looks like the way the Dow's moving there, I'm probably up a bit more than that now. You set your sells, you set your buys, you do it on a 15-minute chart. You can go and do your job. You don't have to sit there and stare all day the way that they show you on TikTok. Okay, Lilly, let's take a look. In fact, I'm happy to jump over and show you where levels are set if someone is interested in that. No one, I didn't get a lot. I have to be honest, I just didn't get a lot of people watch any of my future stuff, and maybe that's because that's not what I do, so they weren't interested in watching. Eli Lilly, Wanda, is tab switching making you miss out on profits? Losing profits because of tab switching is old news. All your charts in one place. Wanda X trading views. Sign up. Leverage trading carries a high degree of risk. Losses can exceed your investment. You got that right, especially if you're in futures, guys. All right, options. I mean, most derivatives, as a matter of fact. So Lilly, what do we see here? This is a major move up from 820 to 910. There's no volume to speak of down here. Let's zoom in a little bit. I doubt there's going to be an earnings play on Lilly based on what I'm seeing here thus far. Where'd that volume come in? That volume came in at 700. This would have appeared to be there was some selling pressure there. Obviously, buying to go from 8 to 900 on Lilly. Let's see what we see here. All right, obvious sell pressure, right? Gapped up, filled the gap. This chart minds its gaps. Interesting. So it's clean. I like clean charts. Up. Is anything occurring right now that pokes you in the eye? Maybe a little bit of a lack of volume, but that's a market characteristic right now, so that doesn't make me nervous. Have we exceeded a sell pressure area? Yeah, right here, 909, 910. I mean, you are sitting on it, I suppose. Boom. What's the news here? Nothing. Okay, 1 hour, nothing really to say there. I mean, there's just nothing scary, nothing exciting. Again, you got buying in the background. I don't see any major selling. It's starting to take a heck of a lot less selling to sell this thing off, though. I will say that. Go into your 15. That's buying. They're still buying the dip in this thing. As much as it's gone up, believe it or not, they're buying the dip. Now, this large bar upwards here, this trading volume that took place, this trading activity that took place here, basically sitting at the high. That's pretty interesting. So is this one. That's pretty interesting as well. You know what, though? I just don't see anything here that's going to give me a strong opinion either way. You're probably going to come back down and retest this 906 area, 907 area. Outside of that, there's really not a lot to say about Eli Lilly, everybody. Look, sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. We're going to take a look at AT&T, Pfizer, and Salesforce. So let's move out to AT&T and see what we see. AT&T, what do we got? Ooh, you are ugly and not moving with the market, lacking strength. So that's monthly. That's weekly. What do we see? This is some trading activity. It's reasonable volume down here at $14, which is probably why you're sitting at 19 now, because I don't see any other reason. 1 day. What do we see here, everybody? Anything? Well, the fact that it's exceeded these levels. Who do we have there? Trade Station, not a one-trick pony. Winner at the 2022 Multi-Asset Broker Awards. Hey, I was talking to the CEO of Tradeer yesterday, and it's unlimited for your first month trading those options at $10. Unlimited. I think before I had said it was 1,000 contracts. Unlimited first month, $10. Can't beat that. Happens to be a really nice guy as well. I like Dan a lot. We haven't talked that much over the years. We met years and years ago, and I recently reached out again, and he was kind enough to jump on a call with me, and we had a nice chat. I really enjoyed it. Unlimited contracts, $10 for your first month. 4 hours. Let's take a look here. Anything. To be honest, this one too. I mean, look, we're looking at dividend stocks, folks. So, okay, this I don't like. I never, ever like large bars that just go straight up in 1 hour. This dictates the market this morning, though. I mean, this is what it looks like. So let's not get too carried away. But you're looking at 18.80, 20 cents. That's 1% below you. There's not anything here to be fearful of. We're going to back out. There's no short-term call to be made there, folks. Let's go to Pfizer. All right, on a monthly chart, what do we see? Well, obviously, this is when everybody thought that Pfizer and all the COVID-19 drugs were going to rule the world. So they went from 20 to 60. There's, thereabouts. Does this look like buying that stepped in? It does, actually. After a pretty significant fall, that's a 50% drop. Trading activity is definitely up. I would say it's double what it has been, and that's on a monthly chart, folks. So that matters. That definitely matters. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this weekly volume matters. Yeah, we have a definitive activity bubble, a volume bubble down here at these lows, right at 25 to 30. And this is significant. This definitely means something. That is going to be buying activity. You're going to try to push another COVID agenda and give everybody Pfizer again? I don't know. Or perhaps the price has just fallen far enough that buyers have come in. I mean, you could see any gap down after a 50% drop is only one thing. You're inciting fear so you can pick up more shares. Look at Pfizer. That's what this is. You want to pick up more shares after a 50% drop? Gap it down. Gap it down 20%. That'll do it. This is all high trading volume, and this is all at those price lows. In fact, it's still going on right here. They're finding less and less supply, folks. So what you do when you drop a price, when institutions are sinking a price because they want to buy more, they're going to take prices down. And when I say pick up supply, they're going to buy stocks. That's what I'm talking about. And as the price stays down there, what you want to see is you want to see a volume drop, in a trading activity drop. Why? That means they're picking up more and more shares and there's less and less to buy. Once they've bought up the supply that they're able to buy up, because other institutions own, you have, what do you guys call them now? Where people don't sell whatever they own and they think that this is a good strategy. I can't remember, but it's really funny. It's crazy. It's over in the crypto world, and they're just, we're never selling. Yeah, we'll have fun with that. Now, I don't mean crypto specifically. I mean anything. The most foolish thing, the most foolish activity I've seen in a very long time. Pfizer, and then we have Salesforce. Okay, so Pfizer. Let's keep moving in on this thing. All right, so we got buying down here. We have buying down here. What do we see now? We saw a rejection up here at around 30. Any large volume up at that rejection point? No. Business as usual. Zoom into 1 hour. What do we got? Do we see buying down here at the lows? We certainly do. Right? We see it all over the place. Here's some selling. Here's some buying. 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 This is probably selling. Let's go into a 30. Buying. 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 Now, if they are announcing their dividend, if they're declaring a dividend, why is there most likely buying? Well, institutions that have dividend funds are going to go in and buy it. It's a price driver. It's a fundamental cash flow price driver. You have a ton of buying down here. What's going to happen to Pfizer in the near term? It's going up. It is going up. I would say go ahead and look for... let's go ahead. You're gonna, and the next. Oh, that's too tight. See, nobody cares about that. That's the problem. That's why I give longer term announcements sometimes, guys, because nobody cares about a percent these days. They just don't, and that's all that is a percent. Let's go out a little further. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a longer term time frame. Yeah, there you go. That's only 2%, but this is going to go out about a month. This should hit this within the month. You know, I'll even give you a little more. No, you got to go 28.60. You have to. It's 2%. It probably has more to go than that. That's the truth. But that's where I'm going to put it. Pfizer's a buy, especially if you're long term right now. This is in play. You're looking for dividend stock that is going to be treated fairly or is going to have rising price now that declaration has come out. Well, you have one. Here you go. There's one for you. Let's say, what's the target date here? Target date, whatever. Does it matter? I mean, you should be buying this for a longer term position anyway. Let's just say 8-1. All right. That's a good one. If you guys that know how to run money and actually run your money correctly, therefore you own some portions of your portfolio are long term, meaning over 12 months, to avoid ridiculous taxation because you don't feel like being in and looking at this stuff. I mean, you don't have to look at anything daily if you're swing trading, probably weekly, but still, I mean, you don't want to be in here looking at it daily just in case something is announced. You don't want to be in here weekly, with your entire portfolio. Well, there you go. This is your stuff right here. This is a good one. All right, let's eliminate this. I'm going to give you a longer term picture here on this one as well. Let's take a look. By year end, you'll be at 29.60. I'll put that up there. Let's do a 29.60. Let's do 6/28, 2024. I hope I did that last one with the right date. I can't remember what I did. Actually, this should happen before that. This is a 1 hour chart. We'll say September 9/1. There you go. And let's put target date on there so everybody knows what we're looking at. Again, this is going to be a longer term position, everybody. Beautiful. Oh, what did I say? Salesforce is next. Salesforce CRM. Yep. Hey, who wants to see TradeStation? I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, because I'm not sharing this page with you. So we have one. I'm going to the upside here. I have one running. Let's just let that. I made 1,500, 1,600. We're out for the day, everybody. There we go. Sorry about that. I had to close a position. All right, let's take a look at Salesforce. So yeah, guys, those of you that have $10,000 accounts and you think there's nothing you can do, that is not true. In the futures world, I mean, that was $1,800. It's 7:19 in the morning. Market hasn't been open for an hour. I average about 2,500 a day, but since I'm sitting over here doing this, I'm not watching. I've kind of hit the levels that I expected to hit, so it's time to get out of there. Okay, ton of buying in the background. Let's zoom in on Salesforce here. Weekly, what do we got? This is definitely a huge buy bar. I like you. When's that? May 28th. Let's go to daily. Big gap. See, it's looking to fill. So this isn't something I would get in right now because looking to fill that gap. That's what it's hunting. And then it's going to get pulled back. I'm not telling you it's going to fill that gap and never go back up, but I am telling you it's going to get some pushback on that thing. You're going to get some pushback at 267. You're at 258. 1 hour. Yeah, let's just say that within the next month, you're going to hit 267. Target day. Oh, wait, we got to put today up, right? 6/28. You know, I wasn't doing this before because I figured most of the people that were watching happen to be my students and they know how and where dates are based on the time frame I'm looking at. And then I realized that there's a lot of people that are starting to watch and ask me questions that are not my students and have never worked with me and have no idea how far out a time frame should go. And honestly, that's personal. That's the truth. That is personal. For me, when I look at a 1 hour, and it's also seasonal, like what a 1 hour chart means in dead summer and what a 1 hour chart means in September and October and November of the fall, September and October primarily, these are two different things, guys. Volume and trading in the summer is so much lower than it is in the fall. So guess what? It takes longer to achieve the same targets. Not as many people are trading or they're not as active. Why? Because we have families, we have children, we have kids, we have lives, right? So, all right, so we're going to move on from this, and we are going to head over to what do we got next? So those were declarations. Let's go to increases. Jeff. Hey, giant bar up on low volume. I don't know that I'm a monstrous fan of that. Yeah, popping through a high on high volume. It's not gap through. It's high volume. High volume is good. Gapping is not. I don't like gaps. You see, this is what I was just saying. I do not like gaps to new highs. They are untrustworthy. Now it did gap and take off from the previous high, which okay, fine. That's not nearly as ugly. In fact, that doesn't make me distrust the move. In fact, the fact that I'm looking at a 4-hour chart and this is your gap up on big volume confirmed by more big volume with price up, and we'll see what it confirms here. I have to tell you though, here's the thing with any of this stuff, I am always looking for a return to the previous high. So would I buy this? No. Am I telling you this is a sell? No. I would just stay away from it. It looks like it's upside to me, but it should return to that previous high if it's real. And so there's no reason to buy that. There's absolutely no reason to buy that. There's no reason to jump in there. Kroger, what do we see? An increase announced, previous high bounces, which this is normal. It's not on high volume. That's a good thing. Let's move in weekly. I think this is going to be something that I'm not going to have much of an opinion on just looking at it now. I just don't see how it gapped through and now it's filled. That's what I would expect for Jeff, J-E-F. This is what I would expect for Jeff. And now what you're seeing here is a lot of volume step in, a lot of volume, but the price hasn't really moved down all that much. So that probably is buying now that the gap is filled. This is most likely buying in here now that gap has filled. Let's see if there's anything here that remember, there's a million positions. Okay, I would have to tell you that is buying at this point. Yeah, that's buying. That's buying. But as you zoom in, you'll have an idea of when price should take off. And as you can see down here at this 50-50 level, this is a bunch of buying. And what do we see? We see volume drying up. Most likely why? Because this was a search for supply, right? A search for, is there more stock for us to purchase? As you can see, there's a gap here. This gap is filled. This should create pushback. We should see prices come back down. They should come back down simply to check for supply. But as we saw in the previous charts, that may not be the case. So I would look. Yeah, I would say that I would give this upside, Kroger. I would be looking up on this one. We're looking at this for a dividend, so I'm going to back out a little bit and give you a little bit of a longer time frame because that should be what you're looking at here, guys. I hope it is. I certainly hope it is. What do we want to know? Where we're at by the fall or where we're at by the end of the year? Well, 10% would give you end of year. I would say you're sitting back. Let's just call it 53 for argument's sake, right there. You're sitting at 53, which is still a nice move by October 1st. There we go. I promise you I'm going to move a little quicker through these next ones. I don't know. How long have we been on here? We have been on for only 25 minutes. That's not bad. What's next? Kroger and Levi Strauss, which I believe I looked at recently. That's a 1 hour, 30-minute. I don't really care why that happened. Whoop. You're there. You're there by October 1st. It makes no difference why that happened. I can tell you what's going to happen to that stock in 2 seconds. Oh, let's just do what I say for price. 22. Let's just say 22.50. No. Go away. $22.50. Let's do target date. In fact, I should just be doing this the whole time. I just feel like when I kind of separate them, it's a bit easier to read. Less is missed. I've been paying attention to clarity and making sure people understand exactly what it is that I'm saying here recently. And the reason for that is I want there to be no question as to accuracy. And that is why I put everything on the chart and I post a picture. So I'm not just putting up numbers that are then deleted. By the way, I delete nothing ever. I don't care if I'm wrong from time to time because I know it's only from time to time. So it does not bother me. I leave everything up. Okay, dividend calendar. So what's coming up here soon? So I'm going to stay tight. No, let's just look. Cube and Progressive first. Cube. We're on a monthly. What do I like and dislike here? Sorry, guys. I got to talk through this stuff or I can get it wrong, just like anybody else. You start rushing and not paying attention to what you're doing. I'll tell you what. We're actually going to end here. I am going to do the upcoming dividend stocks because we have X pay date on the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th coming up. So I'm going to do those tomorrow morning. And we'll keep this at about 28 minutes. So listen, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please reach out. Let me put up this is the way to contact me. Please do so. All right. If you have questions, please do so. I would love to. Why am I not showing up here? There we go. And now we hide you. And there we go. So if you have any questions, please reach out. You can email me. You go onto my site. You can text me. Here's my Twitter handle at DerekMe752-63605. My LinkedIn is LinkedIn and it's honest-trader. Feel free to reach out. I would really, really like to talk with you if you're having any problems. Remember, guys, if you're having a problem today, if you're not okay up here, you're not okay anywhere. Get out there, smile, fake it till you make it, baby. Do something you enjoy. Get in the sun, right? Go for a walk. I know it sounds hokey. It helps. Do whatever you have to do to reprogram that mind for today. You will solve today's problem. I promise you. Do you know how I know? You've never failed. Do you know how I know that? Because you're here watching me, which means you've never failed yet. And I don't anticipate you're going to. So remember, you will solve these problems. Remember, guys, every day above ground is a great day. I will see you tomorrow, and we'll discuss those upcoming dividends.